Joining us now is OjyOkpe, with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx. Good morning.
Always take me by surprise. Good morning, Dr. Fanti. What's going on? Kilon Shele. Good morning, Ayo. How are you this morning? Rufy, how are you this morning? Your policy hair. You know, policy. I know policy maker. You advise everybody. Rufy on fire.
Advise the government.
No, it's not. Advise the girls to follow you. That's what you need.
Advise the nation.
Advise the nation. Well done, Rufai. As always. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nysome Wike, has blamed the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, for the crisis rocking the state, saying that Fubara is the architect of the violence in the state. Wike made the claims during a live television interview, adding that the violence erupted due to the governor's failure to obey the rule of law and a court judgment. Let's take a look.
He went as far as to say, I do not need police before I conduct an election. I do not need security agencies before I conduct an election. I don't need the protection of life and property. When somebody says, I don't need police, what are you saying? I'm inviting violence. Hoodlums will take opportunity, saying police will not be involved. And you are saying, you can go. I don't care about it. I don't care about it. In that case, who is the perpetrator of that violence? Who?
Are you blaming the governor for the violence that...
It is not about blaming. Governor is the architect of the violence.
Yeah, you heard that, Rufai. He did say the architect of the violence, but Wike is citing court judgment. Which court judgment is he talking about? Because Fubara was standing on his own court judgment as well. But in the meantime, Chijioke Ihunwo, the newly inaugurated chairman of Akpor Local Government Area in Rivers State, has ordered the removal of Wike's name from a building at the council secretariat. The building, according to the chairman, will be renamed Obi Wali House.
This name, this man, yes, if you don't know what rest, on that note, at the chairman of council, we don't rename him by the way, we will call him Obi Wali. I want to people from Ikore land, we don't help Ikore people well. Yes, sir. So we don't rename here Obi Wali House. How many? Obi Wali. We don't support the people. We make people enjoy. Tomorrow morning. Make it come. I'm the cow.
All right, Rufai.
So a couple of things. Wike is saying that the governor is the architect of the violence. Why can't you prove it empirically? Because all of this was because of the skirmish or the fight happening between both of them. And that's why I said there were many things we would have pressed Wike on that interview. The first thing, as he said that, I would have asked him, give me proof. I'll have said, is it the governor that is disrupting all the local governments? Why will this happen after the local government elections? Is it the governor that went to get the Federal High Court order to disrupt the local government election in the first place?
Point. Why did it happen after the election?
Why did it happen after the election? No, it didn't even happen after the election. It happened during the election
yes.
and after the election. It happened before, during, and after the elections. I'd also have pressed him the fact that, why is it that as the governor and state security officer, the police is doing the bidding of the opposition party? And if he says he's got no hand involved, why was he saying, APC was the one that filed the court order and everything? Why is he there in the mix of things? He's supposed to be facing Abuja. And like somebody, and that's why I think very dark man has called it that, we can rather than fighting in the river, there are roads left undone in Abuja. He also said that when they asked him, is it about resource? He said, no, I have my own budget. Please, Mr. Wike, that budget is not for you, it's for Abuja. Then secondly, I also have to say this. I don't know, I think the lawyers have to go to clarify. The unilateral changing of the name, is there not going to be some, legal pathways to be able to go through changing the name? Because the name of that building probably was codified. But also, why will a politician name a building after himself in the first place? It just shows the kind of hegemony these politicians have. You're naming things after yourself. It shows the level of hubris our politicians have.
Yeah.
all in all, we want peace.
Absolutely.
And I also support the governor in what he's doing as regards setting up a panel of inquiries. Mr. Wike said, you know the arsonists, just go and fish them out. Discipline. No, it's following due process, like we've said before. There are many questions we would like to press him on. But I would also like to ask Mr. Wike, but this was the man that you said that if you touch him, you touch me, because he's governor now. I think the problem, as with all godfathers, they make a mistake. And I have to say a Yoruba adage before I interpret the mistake. Yorubas have a saying. They say, "Eniba foju anowu kwebora bolasho." What it means is, if you look at a dead man with the eyes of, he was still there yesterday, the spirits will rip off your clothes.
Yeah.
So what it means is the fact that if you keep looking at it that, I brought him, he's my boy, but he's now the governor. Yeah. You forget he's now the chief of the state. So you must respect that. So you looking at him with the eyes of, he was not the one I brought him in. He even talked about the fact that even before he became governor, he was allowing attend council meetings in the state. That was all of, once he was sworn in on meter, you need to respect that. So that's where the conflict will always start. Right. And I said this thing. Another conflict we are waiting to load is between Mr. Oshiomhole and Okpebolo, because it always happens.
I mean, the issue of godfatherism and the politics in Nigeria. I want to actually pull up the picture of the day because I'm doing something new now. This is a picture, I believe that was posted on Business Day. Cartoon of the day. For me, there it is. I would like for you to help me interpret this picture small. I will not be running in 2027 election. I will walk comfortable. That is Tinubu with all his dogs. They have the INEC, we have the police, we have the judiciary. And that's definitely...
We spoke about this in detail. I wish I could say that no, absolutely not. Yeah. Institutions in Nigeria are independent. They are, they do their duties, they do their jobs. So we've seen this play out. I think one other thing they should add to that is the opposition parties, because he almost has the opposition parties on a leash as well, because they have men in there. And we've talked about this at length about how we do not have strong oppositions, and if they're not careful, come 2027, even without these machineries at the disposal of the government, he would walk, because there's no viable opposition. So this talk around them coming together to form an alliance has been in the talks for a long time. Can they put aside personal interest and actually put the interest of the people and consolidate? At the end of the day, the people will choose, but let them have viable candidates or people to choose. But also, let us also point to the fact that these institutions that we mentioned, even though it's a joke, it shouldn't be like this. INEC should be, the first letter of INEC is independent. Independent. So we talk about these things as a joke. The police should follow the constitution of the nation, not at the will of a particular person in power. So these are the conversations we have. We need stronger institutions for democracy to work in Nigeria.
Well said, Ayo. Well, more on elections. Let's head over to Anambra State. We'll take the story of Honorable Okonkwo Kenneth, a councilorship candidate representing the Young Progressive Party for Otolo Ward 1, who was reportedly attacked and tear-gassed by the police for fighting to secure his mandate during the just concluded local government elections. Kenneth is a person living with disability and an advocate for democracy and the rights of persons with disabilities. He was hospitalized after the incident.
So as you can see, the commander SARS Nnewi with his team came here and they threatened me. Where I was trying to defend our civic responsibility or our civic rights in Otolo Ward 1. I'm a contestant for this election, YPP councilorship candidate, Otolo Ward 1, and it is my duty to defend the civil rights of my people. It is also my duty to ensure that due process take place at this election. But I'm disappointed that the ruling government is threatening the poor masses with the state security. So, but one thing is certain, that we want the people's heart, and God is on our side. Thank you so much.
This is such a sad, sad incident. I know persons living with disability in Anambra State trooped out in protest against this actual incident that occurred in Anambra State. We're calling on the governor. I mean, he was hospitalized after this whole incident. Dr. Abati. Okay,
this is very unfortunate because it will be recalled that when the Electoral Act of 2010 was reviewed and amended, One of the basic sections was Section 54 of the Electoral Act 2022. What does Section 54 of the Electoral Act, as amended, 2022, what does it say? It says that persons with disabilities will be included in the electoral process,
Absolutely.
that their right to vote and be voted for will be respected, and that facilities will be provided to accommodate them, including the provision of Braille, including the provision of whatever can assist them in line with the International Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Now, this was touted when Electoral Act 2022 became law, on the grounds that, this will encourage inclusion. However, the Nigerian government continues to pay lip service to the rights of persons living with disability. Now, the Buhari government, one of the achievements of that government, even if we are resolved, we have affirmed that government sleepwalked, through 8 years. But it at least gave us the commission on disabilities. But even that commission has not functioned. So this is a country where persons who live with disability are discriminated against. Yeah. Those are the people that are discriminated against, not lawmakers looking for national honors. And in this particular case, this gentleman and the other people affected, they have the right to press charges. They are right in bringing their matter to the attention of the public, that there is ability in disability. Mm-hmm. These are the same persons living with disability who did us proud in Paris during the Paralympics. Able-bodied people failed us. They didn't win any medal. People living with disability brought home 7 medals to this country. And yet when it comes to elections, they are tear gas, they are, victimized against what we know in the world. One American president, in fact, was on a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. So there is ability in disability. Well, and Nigeria must get to that point where we do not discriminate against persons, minorities within our society.
Well said, Dr. Abati.
Section 54 of the Electoral Act should be enforced.
Absolutely. We're calling on the Inspector General of Police to look into this incident. Well, in Edo State, the People's Democratic Party had raised the alarm that officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission in the state have refused to grant the party and its candidate, Aswa Ighodalo, access to the bimodal voter accreditation system and other materials used in the September 21 state governorship election. Well, on Monday, the women wing of the party, all clad in black, trooped out to protest against the commission's refusal to allow the party gain access to election materials. Well, all right. On Tuesday, I believe the REC in Edo State has, is saying that, the claim by the PDP is false, and that Aswa Ighodalo has now been granted permission or access to the materials, which I feel like it was completely unnecessary. We need to also still hear from the PDP if the REC's claim is true. But what are these materials? In Benue State, Dr. Abati, in Benue State, we saw a video. Please, can you pull up that video? In
electronic voting.
Manual and electronic voting. We saw these people. Okay, what is going on here, really? This happened in Benue State.
APC, one of the local government.
Is it the same governor? Who is that governor that you told me about? Hey, goodness.
Please be able to use that.
Goodness me. No, I mean, this is in his state. This clearly, they said it clearly happened. But this is just a shame on our electoral process. INEC, the REC, all of these materials that are being given out to these hoodlums, touts, or whoever they are, political thugs. I mean, there has to be a way in our society to actually gain this confidence back in the electoral process in Nigeria.
Well, I've always made the point that after the 1999 elections, the Catholic Secretariat and other civil society agencies, including the group Concerned Professionals led by Professor Patu Tome, brought many of us together and we were reviewing the elections. We discovered after the 1999 elections that Nigerians had developed many methods of rigging election. After the 2023 elections, in fact, the rigging process had become even more sophisticated. In 2007, the rigging process was so brazen that even President Yar'Adua, upon being elected, said, well, I don't think the process that brought us here is free and fair. You know, in 2011, President Jonathan said, no, we have to review this process. You know, we can't continue like this. And he said nobody should rig on his behalf. So we've had this problem. But what we have seen is that these methods of rigging continue to be reinvented. Whether they are modernizing them or they are going back to prevent that.
Rufai, what did you call it?
But what I find instructive in this example from Benue State is that video, when I saw it, do you know that there was a policeman there carrying a gun, and the policeman was saying, "Una well done, una well done." That's how ridiculous Nigeria has become. A policeman supervising the fake thumbprinting of ballot papers, and he was telling them, "Una well done, una well done." That's Nigerian democracy for you. And in Benue, of course, this last local government election, the ruling party. The ruling party won in all the local councils, and the governor is a priest.
I mean, come on,
who has become a politician. So, but the opposition, you know, the PDP, they are protesting that how can you have a priest as governor and this kind of thing will be happening. But the scandal is the policeman saying, "Una well done, una well done."
Well, we've seen police officers even carrying.
Yes, we saw that in River State.
We saw that in River State. To them? Does anything happen to?
I think at all this point, all those that are doing that, they need to go and do confession
with the priest. Rufai.
Peace of the Lord be with you, sir.
Rufai, well done,
well done.
Well, all right.
Police,
well done, well done.
They all need to go and do confession with the priest, the Holy Father in the state, Holy Father of Benue.
Well, all right. Well, you know, in Edo State, let's take this story. Let's highlight this video of a commuter pleading with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Minister of Transportation to elevate the suffering of Nigerians plying the Warri Benin Road. Let's look.
You can see traffic for other side. For all this one, so for this motor now, they know the awful. If you offer now, you know, you feel on them again. Just for what do we go over enjoy for this country? This country, what do we go enjoy, Seth? Prosper. Don't see traffic. You go buy fuel for 100,000 from Warri to Benin, 100,000 to buy fuel. We don't take this road now for 4 hours. We take this road. Market women now, they don't buy something for Warri to Benin. Why things not go here? On that president, I beg we say, we dey beg you. You suffer too much, suffer too much. Honorable Minister of Transport, I don't know your name. On that thing, I beg we dey beg, Man, do the road.
I thought I should highlight this video. I mean, to show the plight of the people. We're here in Lagos. You are trying to find out the name of the Minister of Transportation. Help him out. Ahmed Alkali.
Yes, I do.
Well, kudos to this young man for, you know, this visual representation of what Nigerians are going through. I mean, it's a highlight on our state of our roads in Nigeria. Well, in another development, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has reacted to a trending video of some of its officials in a heated argument with a woman at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. In the video, the unidentified woman accused the airport staff of demanding 5,000 naira to clear her bags at the airport. She also accused the FAN officials of assaulting her. FAN, however, in a statement released on Tuesday, said contrary to the report, the woman in question was not a passenger, but a cargo agent conducting illegal operations at the airport, adding that she had refused to pay the stipulated charges for the cargo. The agency also clarified that there was no form of molestation inflicted on her by its staff. Ayo, you did see this video trending.
Yes, I saw it.
Clarification.
I saw it. And the reason why it was easy for Nigerians to believe OJ is because a number of people have had this personal experience of extortion, particularly at the airports. So whilst I understand Fan's position after investigation that she, the story is different, but the reason why it could be taken on as true was because a lot of people experienced that. And so let me talk about that, because we cannot continue to bury our heads.
The extortion by the fan officials?
By fan officials. Okay. You go to the police, you're coming out after a travel experience and they ask you anything for us, come, just spurious claims. So let us use this opportunity to address that. Yes. We have praised the aviation sector, praised FAN for how the airport is running better and more efficiently. Only last week we showed the video of the E-gate and talked about how well they were doing. Yes. So let us talk about how we find out whistleblowing techniques to out these people who are giving the airport authority a bad name. Because it happens, we cannot deny it, we cannot lie to ourselves. So in this instance, number one is, how did the cargo operator get to that point? And then we did see there was a scuffle. So whether or not they said there was an assault on the lady, there was a scuffle that ensued. But let us speak to those people who give Nigeria a bad name, especially at the port of entry when you're coming out from trips. So that is what we should be talking about, and this is what this video highlights. And I hope that they use this opportunity to find the people, the bad eggs in the team who actually do extort from Nigerians.
Absolutely. We tried to help that young gentleman that was in Edo State, highlighting the road situation with the name of the Minister of Transport. But I mean, he's supposed to have been addressing the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, who we have to always put on the spot for these roads. Minister of Works. Oga Dave, please.
Well done.
Help us look at that road, really, a critical road. But in the meantime, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has confirmed the approval of an airstrip for Canaan land, the property belonging to the Living Faith Church in Ota, area of Ogun State, or founder of the church, David Oyedepo, was seen in a trending video celebrating the development with his congregation, eliciting a wave of reactions. Let's take a look at that video before we come back for a discussion.
I'm sure you'll be glad to know that the federal government has approved an airstrip for Canaan land. You are walking in the center of God's plan, so I won't need to fly an helicopter to the airport. I can go from here to wherever I'm going. Amen. Members with their planes will have where to land and park. Amen. By being in the center of God's plan.
Dr. Bati, in Canaan land, there are people that have airplanes. And, the bishops.
I mean, the Lord is good.
The Lord is good all the time.
The Lord is good. You have Christians in the room.
All the time.
So what can we say? Touch not my anointed. On the occasion of Pastor Bishop David Oyedepo's
70th birthday.
He gets an airstrip from the Nigerian government. Yes, there are private persons who have airstrip.
Right.
But there will have been considerations. We don't know the details. He runs a university, he runs a church, the church runs businesses, and there's every traffic towards the church every Sunday. You see people coming from far places going there. So maybe there will be some people who will be going to church in helicopters, when they want to go and worship. So I say again, the Lord is good all the time.
It was the occasion of his 70th birthday, but he also received 2 Rolls Royces. I mean, there they are. I mean, it was such a big deal. That was trend. It's a gift, yes, it's a gift. I mean, I love it when the men of God receive these. Fantastic
gift. In the Nigerian constitution against gifts.
Yes, absolutely.
This is not UK. Yes. Where they will question the Prime Minister for getting suits and spectacles, free of charge.
Wants to say something.
I want to just say something. It's a gift, he's been empowering and be releasing the blessings, into the lives of people. So he's been giving back.
What is he going to do with the Rolls Royce, though?
What do they do with it?
There are 2. Tell us, our pastor.
Usually, people give gifts, and usually they can either decide to sell it or not use it. He can't drive 2 cars at the same time. What I must say, though, is that Bishop Oyedepo has invested heavily in Nigeria, in the education sector, in people, and in people who have gone on to make money for themselves. So they've chosen to reward him.
Let me tell you, this man is a good man.
Yes.
Has 2 universities.
Yeah, Covenant and Landmark. And they produce Inyaboyeji with 2 unicorn companies from Covenant University.
Also, the likes of Dixon. Dixon went to Covenant.
Fantastic.
What
are we going to say?
What
can we say? The Lord is good.
All the time.
Well, all right. Congratulations, Pastor David Oyedepo. We'll take up another story under entertainment. Nigerian musician and content creator Dartin Okoye, better known as Steve Dartin, has been trending online after reports began circulating that he was arrested on the orders of Grammy Award-winning musician Burna Boy for defamation and cyber-stalking. Dartin was initially reported missing for 3 days, sparking widespread concern. The content creator had taunted Burna Boy over his affiliation with embattled U.S. rapper Sean Diddy Combs, who is facing multiple charges for sexual exploitation and human trafficking. Dartin asked Burna Boy to explain how he won the Grammy Award for his album Twice as Tall, produced by Diddy. He claimed there was a sexual relationship between the duo. Well, on Tuesday evening, he was released after spending 5 days in detention and meeting his bail condition. I mean, this was one of the most trending stories yesterday, Ayo. But you know, we did take the story of Femi Falana and we talked about defamation and cyber stalking. This is a really, really big problem. A quick comment before we take our food.
Steve Dartin had no right to come and defame Burna. But Burna too had no right to get the police to arrest him if he did. You know why? This is the high-handedness we talk about in our country. You are supposed to get him, sue him to court, not keep him in detention for a couple of days. So
5 days
is even as guilty as the Steve Dartin that defamed him.
How about the system that enables it to?
And so the most important thing is, how can we now break the cycle of the system that enables it? But what can you say about a system where you see police officer standing there when shenanigans is happening and he said, now well done. Is it not police officers that were there to go and break into RISEC in Rivers State? But I mean, is it not police officers that be in the middle of all the shenanigans happening? His mother came out to beg.
Yes, we saw that.
You know, and the cry of a mother was very apt. But Steve Dartin too. You to stop getting into trouble. It's not every you talk from today to tomorrow. Please.
Yeah, we have to go. Dr. Bati, a second.
People must learn that there is a limit to the freedom of expression.
Exactly.
You don't say you have the right to speak. The Constitution of Nigeria does not give you the right to talk nonsense or to defame other people. Now, in this case, you can't come out and be, saying that a man was involved in some party with PDD and casting aspersions on his reputation. So Burna Boy has every right to defend his reputation. Now, before a man is taken to court, you have to go through the police. You lodge a complaint, the man will be arrested, and then the process will follow. I think that if Burna Boy feels that he's been defamed, he should press charges against Steve Dartin, if only to prove that you don't go and do a video or you go and go to social media and you'll be blackmailing people.
Yes, absolutely.
Freedom of expression, your own stops where the other man begins.
Fantastic. Everyone,
that is the lesson.
I mean, the charges are heavy. Defamation and cyber stalking. We'll continue on the story, follow up on it. But before we end what's trending, we'll highlight the College of Medicine at the University of Ibadan and how their impressive alumni have contributed to the school. Well, barely 2 years after a 1985 graduate of the University of Ibadan, Dr. Philip Ozua, donated $1 million to his alma mater, the College of Medicine at the university. The class of 1989, also at the College of Medicine at the University of Ibadan on Monday, donated hospital equipment worth $1 million to the University College Hospital to enhance healthcare delivery. The donation was facilitated through a US-based non-governmental organization, Project Cure, which specializes in collecting and distributing medical equipment to hospitals in developing countries. The donation serves as a remarkable commentary on the university's alumni and the impact of their philanthropy. I mean, congratulations to the university, the class of 1989. In fact, they actually started this whole project back in 2020. They had, talked to Project Cure, and they got those equipment. But, it took about 3 years before they were able to clear the equipment. But now the university is furnished with all of those medical equipment. Congratulations. What are you doing for your school? That's always the question.
The most important thing I use Gote,
Yes.
they should use the equipment well.
They should use it
it's
well.
Not that some people will now be stealing
Yes.
the equipment from the hospital.
Right.
If it's anything drug or disposable, people will be stealing it. They should just use the equipment well and
It's
keep
always
it
a
well.
fantastic way to give back.
University of Ibadan was one of the best, if not the best in Nigeria and on the African continent. It is a show of how valuable the investment in the people who went to the university, so that they are inspired to come back to want to give back to their school. So just shows that when we see great institutions, Nigerians will come back and pay back. So congratulations to them.
The point to make is that, look, these teaching hospitals are described as centers of excellence. Because government has abdicated its responsibility. This same UCH, people used to come from the Middle East to come and seek medical care in Nigeria.
Fantastic.
Nigeria used to be a center of medical tourism. Things have now gone bad that, they have to rely on the alumni, to fund this university.
Well, all right.
The same way it is with UCH, it is with secondary schools and other schools in Nigeria.
Well done.
Government must live up to its responsibility.
Well done.
And
Congratulations.
alumni associations can only do so much.
Yes, I'd love to thank you all, as always, for your great contribution on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.